And then my hips as well. They've been hurting, and the lower back. And on an energetic level, I'm a channeler too, and I'm just trying to expand my business and grow. And I feel like at the moment I feel very stagnant, and I feel like my energy, like 1 week I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do posts and I'm gonna, promote, and then some people book, and then the next week I'm like zero. So it's very not consistent. And I would like to work on that. Like I would like to have that flow going, that movement going.
Heck yeah. Oh, let's jump in then and see what I can do. So I usually start my sessions just balancing my energy to the other person's energy. So I read the Akashic records. So this is the Akashic records. Then they have records. Then there's a record on top, which oversees all of everything, right? So I go in and my light language actually has aspects of that records of records record. And so I will bring that language in and then watch to see what is happening when that language is playing. And then I will switch it back to English for us so that we know what's happening. I also do like healing work. The Octorians will work with me. Your guides will work with my guides, and we'll get source energy. Like we just end up with a whole bunch of rocking and rolling and fun energies coming in. So I always start it, like I said, with balancing our energy together so that I know what you're feeling. And when I yawn, it's not because I'm tired or you're boring or whatever. It's just releasing as I'm working on something and it resolves itself. I will yawn to just kind of signal like, okay, it released. Also, as I get energetically close to stuff, that's when it would trigger my language. I use muscle testing, so you'll see yeses and nos coming in as I use kinesiology to help connect us with that stuff. Trying to think about what else. I do timeline shifting, so I will tell you if we're shifting timelines or closing things. I think that's pretty much the important stuff. If you're talking and I'm like, I'm getting a message, I'll let you know, like, okay, hold on a second. And then yeah, we'll just like roll it out. I've never met you. I don't know anything about you. I just know that I said, hey, I'm called to just do sessions, and you came forward. So it's divinely aligned, or they wouldn't have us connecting in this way. So there's be something that's going to be a big shift for you. So I'm excited to see what it's going to be.
That's so good. I love that. Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So it just came up that feeling more like I should, if it's possible. I know I gave you a list, but like more like get more into an alignment. What's more like my soul? Because yes, you're a healer and a channeler, but what's in it that it's, there's certain specific things, so kind of getting more of a direction.
Yeah.
So it can be like my offerings can be more soul aligned to me and boost my energy. Sometimes I feel a bit drained.
Yeah. So part of that is going to be a soul or a fragment retrieval. It'll come back to you that holds those answers to those pieces. So a piece of your blueprint will come back and you'll like have this like, oh my goodness, I just knew it type feeling. That claircognizance will come online a little bit more. And you're like, how is that even possible? My gift is already so good in that piece. It's just, you don't know how much better things can be until you get that piece back. And then you're like, wow. That happened to me when I had Samuel arrive and say, like, you don't know the real meaning of love. And I'm like, I feel pretty loved. I feel like, I know the meaning of love. And he was like, no, let me show you. And he came close and he like held me and I was like, I understand now.
That sounds so cool. I love that.
It's beautiful stuff. All right. So I'm going to get going. You'll hear me naming parts of your body. And then I will just energetically tell you what I'm moving. So Serena, occiput, temporal, SBJ, top of your head, clavicle, cloud, first, second floor, sternum, meniscus, SI, coccyx, sacrum, big toe, four toes, big toe, four toes. So it's bottom of your left foot. It's moving to the left. So I just take your heel and hold it. I move it to the left, and then I take your toes and I'm just going to be pulling them out at the knee. So I'm bending your leg, straightening it at the knee, and bringing it back and pulling it out. And out. So it's just energy moving. So I'm gonna go down again and ask them where it needs to be moved in order to be aligned with my energy. This is here, up, forward, backward, side, side. So this one's the pelvic area, the sacral, and the pelvic floor. So same movement, moving your heel to the left and holding your toes, extending it out at your knee. So you're like lighting up. I see all your like nice bright white light of your light body. So it's beautiful. So your energy is moving from the bottom up to the top. There's this little spiral that's there energetically. Just releasing some stuff. Right. It's expanding it. So you were one of the seraphim angels showing up as that. This is just fixing your energetic armor. So there's the energy flow that's around us in our toric field. It's just pulling that shield up and working on just, polishing it up, I guess. You could that completes that energetic field. So do you know about the energetic, kind of like we call it e-armor, like an electronic or electromagnetic energy field that is, it's like what shields us as things get close. Do you know about that? Yeah.
I use like some energetic protections, like I imagine a bubble Christ. I imagine Christ energy around me in a beautiful golden energetic bubble, and then a blue one as well. That's what I use for my sessions.
Perfect. So very similar to that, very similar in that as we travel around, we it's like a bit like a bug zapper. Have you seen those bug zappers that have the blue light and the bug gets close and it just zaps it? That's kind of like what our e-armor does. So as we like travel around, we have this energetic shielding that's in place. And as we move around, that tends to have such high frequency that things just move out of the way. They can't come close to us. And that's just something that we have like kind of like as star seeds. As we start to ascend and move forward and grow, our light gets brighter and our need for protection and shielding comes online. And so that's when we get this energetic shielding that happens. And it's just an automatic thing. So it helps us by not having to spend a lot of time with like cleansing and clearing and moving things, because our high frequency tends to just move things out of the way. So when we are in contact with people, some people, like if I do a lot of work on somebody that's brand new, they will say like, I had this like headache here. Or when they listen to like a lot of frequency or a lot of light work, then they'll get these headaches. And it's because of the high frequency that being close to it, that it's there. Hmm. So that was the e-armor fixing. They're just polishing it up and like making it symmetrical all the way around. So that's that. So let's see what's next. So you're not quite balanced yet. Serena, Serena. Says left foot. Okay, Serena, Serena, occipital, temporal, SPJ, top of your head, clap, up, second floor, first, second floor, sternum, meniscus, SIS, coccyx, sacrum, big toe, four toe, talus, big toe, four toe, talus, bottom of the foot, up, down, forward, backward, side, side. So back to your left foot and your heel, and it's just going to move it the same way. Okay. That's balanced. So are you balanced now, Serena? So this is actually going to be there. It's in your brain. So they're just telling me to do a scan of your head and balance out the glands that are in your head. A lot of times star seeds will come and they'll have hormonal stuff going on, or they will just have like low energy, or they can't sleep, or it's just not balanced. And it's clear it's just not balanced. They'll have like thyroid stuff, or things happening.
There is something happening, yes. Do you want me to tell you now or later?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, I found a tumor in my pituitary gland. So it's all about the hormonal imbalance. I found it, we found out 2 years ago. So started treating 2 years ago, but apparently it's been there for a while. It's quite big. So
Okay.
it's much better now. But yeah, it's just something that I forget that I have. I just take the medication, it is what it is. I'm not like, yeah.
Wow. Well, good for you. Like it's yeah, hormonal stuff is coming up, and they were directing me to like go. I scanned down and they're like, nope, go back up top. And I was like, okay. It's pretty common though with star seeds to have our energy is just so high for our vessels, our human vessels. So it is really difficult to have the high frequency running through our bodies. And so it burn some of our organs, and the ones in our head tend to be the ones that take the hits the best, or like the most. So I'll just go through and I will just help them as I go through. So I'm just going to pull up your brain and have a look to see it's an overcharge. It's too much energy inside your pineal gland. So I'm just going to take some of the energy out. Aya kaya kiete kukuya kieta moya tait. Kiena ya kono ya kaya te kikieto ya moya te. So moya tai moya kaya te yana ya kaya kikieto moya. Zaya te ya noya tai kukuya tai moya te. Shaya ka moya tai night. Koya kai. Noya kamana ya kaya kiete kikiete moya moya te. Zaya te ya ke. So your pineal gland quieted down, and it connected your left eye. So it ran the whole cord all the way energetically, clearing from your pineal to your left eye. So when I went back to do the connection on your right eye, it doesn't light. And so I'm just looking at why it doesn't light. So this side is all fine and lit. This side, is it start here? So they're telling me start at your eye instead of your pineal gland. So your eye looks fine. It's lit. So I'm just going layer by layer backwards. And I feel like your throat chakra has something, because this is not my voice problem. This is your voice problem.
Yes. I feel like I got something here. It's yeah, like kind of emotional. I don't know. It's just very yes.
Okay, so do this. Okay, so I'm gonna keep doing this. So they're just telling me to build it. So layer by layer, building out what should be there. So cool. It's like each time my hand passes, it's like another layer is built into your brain. And it's like forming the pathway from your eye through up to your pituitary gland, or I mean pineal gland. Kai te kia moia kai, te kia te moia kai, hihia te noit. Sayanaya ke te moia te kia te moia te tatai anaya tai. So you noia kamai te kia popoia naya kai, te koia moi. Zaya te koia popoia moia se. Naya kai shinai boy nai. Naya tsaya noi tai, soy naya nai tai te koia naya kai. Te moia kai tiki te kokoya moia kai na moia te. So it's just setting the vibrational frequency that it needs in order to fire up Sayanaya moia noia kai te naya ka moia kai te check moia te soya kai. So that's good. So it's lit, it's fired, it's connected to your eyes. Yeah, that was good. So this comes up fine. So now I'm going to take your pineal gland and I'm going to look for your pituitary gland. That looks fine. Your thymus gland. Where is it? So that this looks good. So the ones on the right side are fine, or on the left side are fine. The ones on the right side are the ones that don't want to fire up and stay lit. So it is. So they're showing me there should be a gland right here and it's not lit. So this is, I don't know what it is, but it's, take it out, leave it. Okay, so it says a gland, it's just not fired. So let me see what they want me to do with it. They're like, tell it, just give it a frequency and then the frequency will like activate it. So I'm just gonna hold it and then give it the noise to match. Saya Kayate Kikimoya died. Told it. Now we love you. Let's fire up. So it looks beautiful. So the light from your pineal goes down and into this side. This gland is fired up and it's good. Is there any more on this side? No, so it's fine. I don't even actually see your tumor. So I'm gonna like see if I can feel for it. I don't even feel it. Go through all of it. Go this way and see. They're telling me it's not here. And if it's here, it doesn't impact you because it's like my energy can move all through your whole head, doing all kinds of stuff. And it's what it was impacting was your ability to fire up the organs on your right-hand side. So they like, it probably was impacting them. They realized, okay, like we can't stay functioning. So we're gonna like shut down. And then the tumor either shrank or like dissolved or whatever happened to it. And then it like just needed to be recalibrated and reset and reminded of what its job was. And then it could like just get doing what it was supposed to be doing. So I'm going to look at your thyroid. That one, does it look, so there's somewhere. It's not your thyroid, it's like behind your thyroid. Front, side. If they want me just to hold it and moving it, just hold it. All right, so I'm just gonna hold it. So it looks low, like energy. Doesn't have enough like oomph to like do what it's supposed to be doing.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So good. All right, so that is like reminded. I just brought energy into it and expanded, and so it looks fine now.
But you said it's like something behind the thyroid, not the thyroid itself. Okay.
So it wasn't the thyroid itself, or like when I was looking at the behind the thyroid, it wasn't lit, but it was because the thyroid wasn't bright enough. So once I expanded it, it looks fine, and so does the behind part because it's now expanded by the light. So it's good. Yeah, that looks like really good, like really bright. So I'm like, are they gonna stay functioning once I like leave? So I sometimes I will like do this work and then I'll like stand back and then I'll like run. Okay, like in a week, let's look back and see what it looks like in a week. Okay, still looks fine. Okay, let's step back. A month, what is it gonna look like? Does it stay fine? It stays fine. And like yours still looks fine in a month's time, like when I step back and look at it. So yeah, it looks fine. So in a month, I can see something like on top of your head. And I'm just gonna ask, what is that? Um, so they're just letting me know that it's part of what you need as you like walk into the assignment that you're walking into, like your mission work. As you start working your mission, that there's looks like a hat that is on your head. And I was like, why do you have a hat on your head? And they're like, it's part of her new mission. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, that's fine then.
So it's something good.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's something good. It's supposed to be there. And they're like, yeah, it's all good. It's like a holding place. Like if you were gonna store something in a container, that's not inside the person, like they would put a container and then they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna sit this container right here. And you're like, okay, strange, but whatever you have to do.
Like an
Good.
external hard drive.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yes. My guess is that they are doing that because you're in contact with something or someone that they can't install it directly just yet. Like you're getting prepared to do your next mission. So instead of you can't have two operating systems. So you'll finish out your old mission and your old tasks and your old ties and close the door. And then they'll take that old system out and put the new system in. But in the meantime, while you're transitioning, they're just going to hold this system right here until we're ready to do a full transfer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might be related to my current job, which is a bit 3D. I mean, quite a bit. And I don't know, that might be related. I don't know if it is my current part-time job while I'm, booking my sessions.
Yep, that's exactly it. Hold on, I'm just getting a message come through from my partner. He was wondering if I was in here doing a session, so I told him I was. Sorry. Yeah, it's absolutely connected to like your 3G role in terms of your job. So that makes sense for sure. So, so are you transitioning or do you know anything about what's going on?
Wait, what do you mean?
Is your role like are you transferring or are you between jobs or is there anything going on with your
Or so I have a part-time job on the weekend, so I can have some free time during the week to do my sessions.
Oh, nice.
But like I said, because I'm not consistent, then I don't have that full like, how do you say, like, I don't have like all my sessions booked that I can only be a full-time, healer and channeler yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like I tell myself, oh, as soon as I have, I'm full-time book, then I can, drop that other job that it's in a store. So not really where I want to be in the long term,
Mm-hmm. For sure. The transition is tough, but we're heading in the right direction. So that's exciting. So let me
Yes.
see what else they want me to know. You had talked about your knee and your hip. They're like, neither of those are the priority right now. So let me see where they want to show me is your priority. So we did your brain, we did your thyroid. So is there more on this side that needs to be? This side. So it is in your back somewhere. Looking to see where they want me to look. It is like behind your reproductive system towards your back is where they're like showing me, and it just looks like an egg is there behind everything. So I don't even know, like, not a doctor, so I have no idea what is actually organ wise back there. I know the kidneys are back there. So I'm just gonna hold the egg and figure out. I think it's just stored like not memories, but stored like we process trauma in different ways. So sometimes our trauma will get like stuffed in a little container and like housed in us somewhere. And so that's like your little housing place for your trauma stuff.
That could
So
be.
yeah, I'm going to just lift it out. Yeah. Because sometimes they'll have us identify what traumas or what feelings, and they're like, don't bother, it's already all contained. So you must have done like your shadow work, you must have been like working on yourself, because it would not be contained in a nice little container ready for removal if it wasn't.
Yes, I did. I've done a lot. I've done a
Yeah,
lot.
I can tell. Yeah, it's all packaged nicely, ready for me to. I always tell people when they do their trauma work, it's like you have to go through all the closets and all the dressers and open everything and pull all the clothes out and put it on a giant heap on your bed. And then you look through it to see like, what are you donating? What are you keeping? What doesn't fit? What's out of style? Like you go through it all. And then you put it in bags. And you take the bags and you put them on the like step or like out in your car to like get put to the donation bin. And then that's when integration happens. You have to actually like do the integrating of the stuff. You let your body do the work to like pull and embody in those things. So like the same analogy, sometimes when you donate things and put them in your bags and put them in your car, you never actually drop them off. You just leave them in your car. And then you're like, oh, I remember this like special shirt I had. It's probably in the donation bag. And you bring that back in the house. And then you're like, oh, I remember that really nice skirt and that shoes. And you back in. And before you know it, you've got half the trauma events back in your house again. And you like didn't integrate and drop anything off. So
Yes. Yes.
So you did a really good job at containing all yours and putting them all in the right spot. So now they're like, just lift it out and help integrate, because when we integrate, we take that whole container, take it out, and then we allow space to pull in more energy and light and fragments of our higher self. And so that's the part that we're about to do now.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this like little egg. I'm gonna see what they want me to do with it. They're actually just gonna come take it. I'm just gonna shine light and they're gonna come like remove it. So that's that. Looks like that's not in you anymore. This looks like bright light, bright white light. So now I'm just gonna look for where your fragment is. It's your higher self. It's a piece. So let me see where your piece is. And then I'm just going to pull that from right above your head down into your body. I thought it was peace, but it looks like it's actually an embodiment of your higher self. So let's see who that was that came forward. It's like a Lyrian version of yourself. So be like cat-like. Um, mm, so they're letting me know that the name of the embodiment was Sucro. Um, and it's just looks like a cat being coming in to help support your next step in the process of healing, and guiding, so, and expanding. So, well, what's next? So they're like, how do you feel with that? Did you feel anything with the embodiment piece?
I've been feeling a few sensations, and my head is swirling, like when I'm on a session. Yeah, it makes sense. Sometimes when I'm speaking like language, sometimes it comes out a bit of poor, I sound like a cat a little bit. So I'm like, this sounds like Lyran, but I didn't know I had connection with Lyran. Could have, because I love cats. I've had cats before. I don't have a cat at the moment, but every time I see one in the street, I say, "Hey, that's my cat there." And just play with my partner, because I wish I had a cat now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. There is the cat being that it would be why you're feeling connected to them, because you do have a Illyrian life, where you would have had the name of Sucrose. So that's beautiful. And you look like not very old as your cat being self, in terms of like the beings go or whatever. And
Oh, and actually, my cat just passed away like a month and a half ago, and he was a very special. Like he was not a normal cat. He was a very special cat. He brought so much love. He brought so much love. It was beautiful.
Oh,
Thought of him now.
oh, so nice. Well, sorry that he passed, poor guy. So
yeah, no, he wasn't that okay. His kidneys were not that okay, so it's better that he's free now.
Well, yeah, it's good that you can frame it that way and know that he's in a better place. So I'm gonna look and see what else. You're not balanced still yet, so that means there's still another thing in your body that's preventing the energy flow from doing its thing. So let me see what they want to show me. I think this is through your blood. Because as soon as I touch you, like my language is coming, and I'm like, languaging. Well, I haven't touched anything yet. I'm like, oh, but I have. It's just like through your blood, so they're just getting me to like circulate it, like filter it and circulate it through. So let me see what they want me to like filter it through. So this is you. So they're having me put the filter in the middle of you, and they're having me pass the blood through this way, down, and then back up, like a figure 8 is going down this side, passing through the filter, coming back up. So let me run it again. So out this way. So this side is dark coming from your brain. It's dark, and it's going to go through the filter in the figure 8, come out light, go back around, it's still light, go back up, it's still light. It comes back from your brain, dark, back out this way, light, 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 dark. So eventually it's going to stay light as I bring it around. It's getting clearer, but it's not there yet. such a weird pattern that they're having me like pull it through. It's turned white now, but it's gotta have like the same shiny blue white that's here is gotta be what it is, as it comes through the filter. Doesn't want to shift to the next level of light. Starting to get better. Starting to look blue. It's starting to keep it now. Oh yeah, it's doing its thing. All right. So now that looks fine. So that was a new one for me. I haven't had anybody have to do a blood filter in the middle of their system before. So let's see, are you balanced? Not yet. Straight. So go through this way? No. Go through this way, 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 this way. This is fine. This is fine. It's perfect. So it's below your waist here somewhere. It's on this side. It's on this side. So this looks like your thigh bone on your left-hand side. So it's from your hip to your knee. That bone is doing something here. It's actually in your hip. So it's the hip that's the problem. Sis, hold this. Sis. They're like, when I ask, like, where am I holding on this bone? Like, what's the deal? And they're like, you're going to hold right in the middle section of the bone. I'm like, okay. And they're like, just pull it, like pop it up. And I'm like, okay. So it's done. It's for whatever reason, it wasn't sitting like in it where it's supposed to be seated. It was like out of place a little bit.
Makes sense. It does make sense because the main pain I feel is on the left side of my hip.
Okay.
So it does make sense.
Okay, good. Yeah. And it is it looks much better. It looks seated and properly in there. And like your hip, to me, the joint looks not good. Like, yeah, it looks like it's fraying. So most of the joints, when I see them, are like have smooth tissue, and the joint looks like yeah, just smooth and like a clear outline of what it is. Yours looks like torn tissue, like pieces that are like not smooth, and it looks a little bit like raw and swollen and lumpy. And so they're like, it's just from it not being seated in the right position. So that's going to heal itself over time.
Okay.
So
I was gonna ask, how can I heal that? Because like, oh my
yeah,
God, right.
it's just because it wasn't seated in the right spot. So if you think of even like anything that's not, if it's got a seated spot and it's got to turn and do this, but it's out and then it's doing that like not aligned, it creates some wear and tear. So that's kind of what it has done. But they're like, now it's seated in the right spot. Like to just, it will be fine. It'll just heal itself and tighten up and do what it's supposed to. So what to next? This is good. So they're getting me to work on it more. So we use what is like a blue icy cool jelly. It looks like, you know, it looks like gel, and it's like a blue color, but it's plasma. And it's what we put on organs and different things in the body when it's in need of like extra help. So they're telling me just to like use the blue plasma gel to put on the hip joint to help speed like the healing process up. So you have right at the top, you have this big indent that's there. It's like deep in the joint though. So I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? And they're like, just pack it full of like the plasma, because the plasma will actually just regenerate the stuff that's there. So yeah, it looks like good. So now when I fast forward like in a month, what does it look like? And I can see it progressively like getting better in the stages. So in about 2 months time, it looks like it's healed. And it doesn't look like it still has the like jagged or like the blue stuff that I put in there is no longer blue, and it looks healed. It's like your healthy tissue now.
Oh, yay. That sounds so good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So that's good. They're like, so I leave this now. Okay, so I leave that. Your energy is still not aligned. So let's see what else. Is it above your waist? No, it's below your waist. So, this side, this side, this side. It's under you. To this foot, under this foot. So it is heel, toes, midsection. So the midsection of the same foot or the same hip. So left foot, the middle section of your foot has some kind of problem with it. So I'm just going to look and see what the issue is. It looks like there's a hole in the bottom of your foot. It just looks like a black hole. But it's not like an open portal or anything like bad. It is just black hole. This is so strange. Like, okay, guys, like, haha, black hole. It's actually not a hole. It is like, it's like if like you stepped on a nail is what it looks like, but like a very pointy, like a triangle. It looks like we've stepped on this triangle. So you have this like point going into your foot, and then it's kind of like spread open at the bottom. And so I'm like, what the heck is this? And they're like, just remove it. Just remove the pointy thing out of her foot. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, do you want to tell me what it is? And they're like, it's like not human. It's not even going to make sense. So I'm like, okay. Like, so this happened energetically. Yeah. They're just like, just don't even focus or worry about it. Just like keep moving. I'm like, guys. Okay. So I think they're kind of like, we have better things to worry about. Whatever.
I love them. So practical.
Yeah, we like task. We don't like a lot of like, well, what for and why, and like, can you explain it to me? Like, no, just keep moving. You want to be healed, right? Like, just keep moving. Okay. Okay, so I removed the tack or whatever it was that's there. And it's like not even an implant or a tracking device or anything weird. They're just like, just energetically something you picked up. And so every time I go to take it off, it springs back up into your foot. And so I'm like, so it's like got a root system. So I'm just gonna pull the root system out, isolate it, and move that out. All right, now it's done. So that's gone. Your hole is sealed. Your roots are out or whatever that was. So it's that. So now does your energy balance? No, above your waist, below your waist. This one, other foot this time. So heel looks fine. Your middle section, what do you know? Another weird open hole. So with more roots in it. Okay. At least I know what to do now. see them and I can pull them all out. Sakachaya kaya konoya kai moete, chikachika upukoyate. So I like put them as a pair together and I'm like, here you go. I don't know. Figure out what to do with these. Chaya kaya to kukumanaya kite. Okay, so these are now both solid feet at the bottom. Toes are all solid. It's good. Okay, so now are you balanced? No. Above the waist, below the waist. This one, this one. This one, this one. So it's back to your left foot. What's your deal? So they're telling me it's your ankle joint. So what is wrong with your ankle joint? So your bone needs pulling up. So it's okay on this side. It's okay on this side. So it looks like your ankle is like wobbly on your bone, like if this is a stable bone, your ankle like slips, it goes too far down and too far up. So as you walk, it has this movement inside the joint. It's not supposed to have that movement. And so I'm like, why is it moving? They're like anchor it in together, like anchor it closed or in. I'm like, okay.
You're like, this girl is so weird. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna grow tissue and bone around it and hold it in place, so that it like is this? No. Is it this side? This side. This side has an open spot. They want that open spot to be there. So they just pinned it. So I held light on the spot that was open and asked like, why is this open? They're like, just hold it like open so that they can see it. And then they just put a spike in there and hold it shut, like, or like to stop it from doing this. So they like anchored it so it doesn't do that. So I'm like, okay. All right, so we got that now. So that's good. It's done. So plasma on that thing too, so that it like regenerates its way it's supposed to. Okay, so let's see, what else am I? So they're like everything is good now. So is it balanced? Energy is balanced. So let's run energy. So I'm going to start at the top of your head and I'm going to run energy down. They're like down your head, down your neck, out your arm, back around. So I do it like I'm a kid tracing around a picture of you, like tracing around your body if you were laying on the floor. So I just start at your head and I trace the energy flow around your arm, down the side of your torso, around down your hips, down your legs, between, down the other side of your leg, around your other one, kind of like a gingerbread man, like outline. Yeah, go all the way around and see if it's fine. It's fine. The energy went all the way around you. And then it lit. So that's good. And your eyes and nose and mouth and ears are fine. Your pelvic floor is fine. Your kidneys are fine. Your liver, not fine. Liver is not lighting. So let's have a look and see what his deal is. Liver's priority. So this just needs some kind of attached. It's just not attached to whatever it should be attached to. Sometimes you have smart organs and they just are like, if I stay attached, it's just going to burn me to a crisp. So I'm just not going to stay attached. So it disconnected itself. And now we have it lighting. I don't even know. Oh, it grew like webbing, like vessels. And now it looks like it's connected to a light source. And now it's got light coming into it. Okay, so liver is now fine. And then I'm like, what did it connect to? Because like, what's near it? And they're like, did it light or not light? I'm like, it lights. And they're like, okay, carry on then. I'm like, you guys are hilarious. Give me any answers. and they're like, I'm like, I wish I knew more about the anatomy. And they're like, if you knew more about the anatomy, it wouldn't make any sense because like the things that they're connecting it to is just like, I would be like, well, the kid, how do you mean it connected it to the kidney? The kidney's over here and the liver's over here. So like, how did you connect the two? They'd be, just wouldn't make any logical sense because how it's working, I guess.
Wait, so these are my guides that are not giving you the answers, are they? Or your
No,
guide? Or your guide?
yeah, yeah, they're being they're being just elusive around some of the stuff where they're like, I think probably just because it's live, they're like, you're gonna get all kinds of crazy questions if we so they're like, let's just keep it to like the healing, keep it contained, explain, the action that's happening and not so much the like why and how and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
see.
okay, yeah,
Oh, can I just say something?
sure.
I just remember that I also start grinding my teeth. Is that, could we possibly tap on that too? Sorry if I'm asking too
Yeah,
much. I'm like,
no.
it's amazing. Let me just give her all my. So you just found much more stuff than I thought anyway. So
Yeah, okay, excellent. I will look at your grinding. Is this balanced? Is this balanced? So your jaw, when it is open, is it balanced? And it's closed, it is balanced. So it's the movement of opening that causes the problem. So do I fix the jaw as a priority? Your jaw is actually not the problem. So what the heck is the problem? Serena, up, SBJ, top of your head, clavicle, first and fourth, sternum, meniscus, SI, coccyx, sacrum, pectoral toes. I think your problem is back up here. It is here, here. So it is in your, it's right in here. So up, down, forward, backward, side, side. So I'm just going to hold it and move it this way, this way. Okay. Whoa. It's like energy is moving there. Okay. So is your jaw balanced when it's closed? Is your jaw balanced when it's open? Oh, it is now. So is balanced. Balanced. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Easy peasy, right? So now I feel like you have an eye problem because I have an eye problem. So it's probably telling me that you have an eye problem. So this is your right eye that has a problem. So isn't that the one we recreated? I feel like that's the one I had to go in and like manually create.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something on my eye, definitely something I've been feeling lately. I just don't know what it is. I can see well, but it's like a small pain in it.
Yeah. Yeah, there is because my eye feels like that. There's something wrong with it. So what in the world? So is it the outside? It's the inside. Like my eye feels like it's about to fall asleep. Like it just wants to like, I don't know, shut or something. So
That's a bit scary.
it wants to just do its own thing. I'm trying to see like what their deal is. They're like, just wash it off. Like take your eye and wash it. Okay. So there is so once it's under the water, I can see instead of the water running smoothly off your eye, it looks like it has like a sliver or something, like a piece of something in it. And so I can just take the thing out of it. Yeah. Okay. So wait.
Yeah, something appear. It's like a little white spot right next to my pupil. Is that how you say it? Again.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a little white spot and it just showed up there. And I was like, okay, I know what that is.
Yeah,
So that
interesting, eh?
might be what you saw.
Yeah, it is like I don't, it looks like a piece of, just looks like a slither, like a piece of wood might get in your finger. It looks the, and part of it sticks out. It looks kind of like that. It's like protruding from your eye. Instead of being smooth, there's like a piece like sticking up out of it. So take it out, push it in, leave it. They're like, leave it there. Okay, so while this is a problem, like what, she can't have something sticking out of her eye. So I'm like, you need to fix it. So they're going to come in and address it. I'm just going to shine light on it so that they can fix it. Okay, so they addressed it and we're just going to put it back. I just saw them like doing their work all around it. And then when I run it underwater, it doesn't have the thing sticking out anymore. So I put it back. So it's good. Still, there's still something with it because the feeling's not going away. Like the feeling of something in it, yeah, but the feeling of like heaviness on it is not. It's like you watched TV for too long and strained it. Or like read in the dark or something and strained your eye. So you actually have a 5-dimensional, like a spiritual task to do. And that's part of what happens to our eye when we have another task that's going on in the 5th dimension. So let me go see what that is. So have you met the blue avian beings?
I mean, I heard of them, but I don't think I've seen them. I think I'm not sure if I sometimes I feel like I speak their light language too, but I'm not that sure because it sounds a bit like a bird sometimes, like do 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 do, like a lot like that, and it just keeps going like, and I'm thinking this may be blue avian, but I'm not sure.
That's exactly what it is, and that's who your people are. They're showing up like, yeah, I'll ask her if she's met you, but okay. So they are there. There's like 3 of them. One of them is like a shorter one, and then 2 taller ones. They look like a mom and dad and a baby, like a teen or whatever. So what do you guys need? Like, what are you coming for? They're like, we're just coming to hang out with her. All right, so like, why? Like, what's your deal? So they're going to be near you for a little bit because their energy is going to like emit off of them and help you with your healing process. So they're just going to be hanging out, giving you some energy, letting you like soak in and integrate their stuff. And yeah, it'll just help you out. So you might be speaking blue avian for a little bit because when I tend to speak whatever's around me. Unless I'm healing, then it just is my own like language or whatever. So, okay, now my eye's getting better. Yay. So is there anybody else around? So they are actually going to be like actively healing you. So you have one on either foot of your feet. So when I see you laying down, there's 2 at your bottom and 1 at your head. And so they are running energy through you to speed the healing process up. And what else are they going to do? So I think that's pretty much it for like the healing work and like your embodiment for your like Lyra self, your eye, your jaw, your hip, your foot,
Like
your brain.
you know, yeah. Cool.
So,
thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So do you have any questions?
No, I don't have a question. I just have a feeling. It's like a thing in my heart, in my chest. but I don't have any questions, I think. I always get the questions later once I like hang up and the call is done and I'm like, oh, but then
Uh-huh.
this, like, damn.
Yes. Well, message me if you have those and we'll like look through it and see what's going on. Your chest, you're feeling that is like going to be where you feel more of your claircognizant stuff, where you just have that knowing. And for the they're saying to this, use it as a lie detector. So when people are coming to you and you're like, I don't know about this. Is this like accurate information? The light will go off if it's not accurate. It won't stay lit. People that are just not genuine, people that are just not in alignment with you or the right frequency for you to be near, the light will go off. And then you'll notice it, because you'll notice like something doesn't feel right. And when you check in your chest, you'll see there's no light there. But when you're walking around day to day, and you're like feeling good and everything's ticking along, you'll see the light is shining there, and that it looks good, and you feel good. So use your truth detector to help guide your process and transitions.
Okay, yeah. I was just, I don't know, we don't have much time, we don't have time, but I was gonna ask about if they could, are they still around?
Yeah, they'll be around.
You guys are here, if any hints they could give me towards, I don't know, my next offerings or things like that.
They are just them. You have to wait till you're done healing and your integrations and your embodiment. Like, it's going to take a couple weeks anyway for you to move through the work we did. And then you'll have clarity around what to do next. Because if they give you what to do next, you're going to want to go do the things next.
Yeah.
Like, right.
Yes.
So they're like, bed rest, bed rest.
Okay, so I must just rest now, focus on myself. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's your next step. Yeah, just integrate that stuff and like take it slow. If you feel like nauseous or like funky, just do water and light liquids, soups and things like that. And just see how you feel. Your body's going through a lot. Your body is going through a lot.
Thank you. It's like I feel like I went to the mechanic, and I got a good fix there.
Good. Amazing. Well, you were sent this direction for a reason, so it's beautiful. I'm so glad that I could like get in and help and do the work that was needed. So, and it was lined up. You're like, yep, I definitely have a brain thing. Yep, I definitely have a hormone thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was beautifully aligned. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. Thank you all your team, and especially yourself and your guides and my guides too. Thank you. Yeah.
So you're most welcome.
Yeah, so thankful. It was very nice meeting you.
Yes, you too. You too. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and coming into this space. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will see you. Send me a message and let me know how things are going.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You have a good one. Have a good day.
You too.
Night.
I think
it's night for you.
Night for me, yes.